Today on MUFC Pulse, we'll dive into some incredibly intriguing news. United keep tabs on Barcelona's midfielder, and Garnacho breaks silence on Amorim's shock sacking. For more on this story, check out the video. We also have some equally exciting football news coming up, so stay tuned until the end to catch it all. Welcome to MUFC Pulse. Don't forget to subscribe and press the bell for more updates. Manchester United are keeping tabs on Barcelona midfielder. Following the recent managerial shift, Michael Carrick has moved away from Ruben Amorim's previous system, opting instead for a more traditional setup. With Bruno Fernandes back in his favoured role as an attacking midfielder, the new head coach is left with just 3 options vying for the 2 holding midfield spots in the double pivot. This scarcity could well prompt United to rethink their transfer plans and pursue a new midfielder in the January window. Reports out of Spain suggest that Manchester United have shown interest in the young Barcelona prospect Marc Casado. The 22-year-old is a La Masia graduate who has been part of the Blaugrana's first team since last season. A defensive midfielder by trade, he's also adept at progressing play from deep positions, earning comparisons to Barcelona legend Sergio Busquets. Despite his breakthrough campaign last term, Casado has found minutes hard to come by under Hansi Flick this season, with the likes of Frenkie de Jong, Pedri, and Gavi firmly ahead of him in the pecking order. The Red Devils have already made an initial inquiry regarding his availability. Transfermarkt values the player at around £22 million, though Barcelona would surely demand a higher fee. Should he arrive at Old Trafford, Casado could prove a natural long-term successor to Casemiro, whose contract is set to expire at the end of the season, paving the way for his departure. Alejandro Garnacho's extraordinary take on Amorim getting the boot. Manchester United's decision to terminate Ruben Amorim's tenure has finally lifted the lid on the internal tensions that surrounded young star Alejandro Garnacho. The player, who is now excelling at Chelsea, has opened up about the off-the-field circumstances that had remained a mystery to the wider public. His switch to the capital, he stresses, went well beyond a routine career move. It represented a fundamental effort to rescue his career and recapture the sheer pleasure of playing football. The breakdown in relations between Garnacho and Amorim is thought to have originated in the closing stages of the 2024-2025 campaign. The decisive moment arrived when Garnacho was directed to operate as a wing-back, a position that clashed fundamentally with his instinctive style as an attacking winger. Those strict tactical demands were felt to curtail his personal flair severely, sparking dressing room friction that eventually led to his £40 million switch to Stamford Bridge. Conditions at Old Trafford in that era were portrayed as distinctly unhelpful for nurturing talent. The practice of sidelining selected players, commonly referred to as the bum squad, fostered an atmosphere that impeded the squad's evolution. Garnacho conceded that it proved extraordinarily tough for any footballer to deliver peak performances when they sensed their value to the club was no longer recognized as it should be. Even through the strain imposed by Amorim's approach, Garnacho believes he emerged with greater mental resilience. Under Liam Rosenior's guidance at Chelsea, he has been markedly more effective, featuring in 3 matches across all competitions and scoring 2 goals. He has regained the clinical edge that had temporarily deserted him amid the overly prescriptive tactical framework he previously navigated. His resurgence reached a high point during a pivotal Carabao Cup semi-final clash with Arsenal. Introduced as a substitute and limited to 38 minutes on the pitch, he netted 2 decisive goals to claim the Man of the Match award. His impact was striking 20 touches and 3 successful dribbles in such a short spell, underscoring how the greater freedom provided by Rosenior is yielding tangible rewards. Garnacho maintains that the incompatibility with Amorim stemmed not from any shortcoming in the coach's tactical acumen, but from a fundamental mismatch between certain player profiles and the imposed system. He struggled to express his true self when confined within an inflexible structure. In his opinion, the most effective systems still require some flexibility to accommodate individual traits if every player's abilities are to be fully unlocked, precisely what he is experiencing in London now. In candid remarks, the Argentina international confirmed that his time at Manchester United is definitively over. He holds no lingering personal animosity towards his ex-manager. Quite the opposite, he genuinely wishes Ruben Amorim well in whatever comes next. This composed perspective highlights Garnacho's increasing maturity as he deals with the swift shifts and unforeseen obstacles that define professional football. On the recent managerial upheaval at his former club, Garnacho extended his backing to Michael Carrick, who has stepped in as interim head coach. He regards Carrick as a figure who deeply grasps Manchester United's core philosophy and identity. Carrick's appointment is expected to help reintegrate those players who had been marginalized, mend the rifts in a dressing room damaged by earlier inflexible decisions, and restore a sense of unity. At present, Garnacho's complete attention is fixed on driving Chelsea towards major honours this season. He feels he has discovered the ideal home at Stamford Bridge, a place where his innate gifts can develop freely, unhindered by overly restrictive directives. The confidence he has regained serves as a powerful indicator that he is primed to emerge as a central figure in the Blues' ambitions and to establish himself firmly among the Premier League's top young talents. Latest on Toby Collier's move to Hull City. Toby Collier is scheduled to undergo a medical with Hull City this weekend as the Tigers look to finalise a move for the highly rated Manchester United youngster. Interest from the East Yorkshire outfit is long-standing, dating back to the summer window, and negotiations are now progressing smoothly towards a loan agreement. While the finishing touches are being put on the paperwork, it is understood that both clubs are keen to see the deal wrapped up before the week is out. The 22-year-old midfielder spent the opening months of the current campaign on loan with West Bromwich Albion, where he was gaining valuable experience in the Championship. However, his stint at the Hawthorns was cruelly cut short at the end of November after he sustained a significant knee injury. The setback forced a pause in what had been a promising start to his season in the West Midlands. Following the injury, Toby returned to Manchester United's Carrington training base in December to begin an intensive period of rehabilitation under the watchful eye of his parent club's medical staff. To facilitate his next move, United officially terminated his temporary spell with West Bromwich Albion as soon as the January transfer window opened. This allowed the club to manage his recovery closely while scouting for a suitable destination for the remainder of the term. With the player now nearing full match fitness, the hierarchy at Old Trafford has been weighing up the best environment for Toby to clock up senior minutes over the next 4 months. Hull City emerged as the preferred destination, with United believing the setup at the MKM Stadium will provide the ideal platform for the midfielder to rediscover his rhythm. It marks a fresh start for a player who has already shown he can handle the pressure of the big stage. To date, Toby has made 13 senior appearances for Manchester United, a tally that began when Erik ten Hag handed him his debut in the Community Shield final back in August 2024. Despite his obvious potential, it was made clear to the youngster that game time would be at a premium this season. United's failure to qualify for European football significantly thinned out the fixture list, making these loan ventures essential for his development. The broader context of Toby's future remains an intriguing talking point, given that his current contract at Old Trafford runs until 2027. When he returns to Manchester in the summer, he will find a different landscape, with a new manager set to take the reins. These few months with the Tigers will therefore serve as a vital audition for the incoming boss as he assesses the talent available within the squad. The coaching staff at Hull have already begun preparing for his arrival, with Sergej Jakirovic indicating that the club is simply waiting on the final formalities. The Hull boss suggested over the weekend that they have received the necessary assurances from Manchester United to proceed. He expressed confidence that the deal is effectively over the line, noting that an agreement on all major terms has been reached between the two clubs. Jakirovic further indicated that, barring any unforeseen hiccups during the medical examination, Toby is expected to link up with his new teammates as early as Monday. The move is seen as a coup for the Tigers, who are looking to bolster their midfield options with a player of Toby's pedigree and top-flight experience. For the player, it represents a chance to put his injury woes behind him and finish the season on a high. As the weekend approaches, the focus remains on the medical suite and the final signatures required to formalize the move. Should everything go according to plan, the United Academy graduate will be tasked with helping Hull City push on in the league. It is a move that suits all parties, offering Toby the competitive football he craves while giving Hull a dynamic presence in the heart of their midfield. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let us know in the comment your opinion.